This will be fun. Welcome back to the Team 12 Seattle Seahawks podcast. I'm your Team 12s, and today we're going to be talking about my rankings for all the playoff teams. So to start out, at the very bottom, I have the Steelers. You barely beat the Ravens that were extremely hobbled with Tyler Huntley. Their cornerbacks were shredded. They had almost no running backs all season long. Their running backs kind of sucked. Your offensive line was solid. Lamar Jackson wasn't in because Tyler Huntley was in because Lamar was out with injury. Your running back barely was able to carry you throughout the entire season. Your offensive line sucked. Your defense, really good. TJ Watt had more sacks than the entire Falcons defense this year, so that was really good. But other than that, your defense was still great. Your offense was absolute garbage because Big Ben had his Peyton Manning 2015 retiring year, but Big Ben, it was bad this season. There was a play in this game where against the Ravens, he threw it, and it was just absolutely soared over his wide receiver. There was two wide receivers going in for the ball, and he just soared it super high, and it probably went 15 yards farther than his wide receivers, and he almost threw an interception to the safeties. There was two safeties sitting right there, and they were just standing there because they're like, oh, he's throwing to the wide receiver, and there's nobody deep. And the thing just soars, and then they're trying to hustle the ball, but they can't get to it. But it was an absolute horrifyingly bad ball. Najee Harris would have to run for like 150 yards, Jonathan Taylor stats, every single game of the playoffs in the Super Bowl. If you have a chance at the Super Bowl, you're the 14 spot. Next up, I have the Raiders. Derek Carr had a really good season. This is going to be his first playoff game of his career in the playoffs, so good for him. He missed 2016 with I'm pretty sure it was a broken foot or something like that in that MVP year, near MVP year, if he didn't break his foot and if he played maybe slightly better. He had a great year this year. Hunter Renfrow went absolutely off. Third and Renfrow, every third down, you knew it was going to Hunter Renfrow. 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 3, it was always going to Hunter Renfrow. You worked through the struggles with the Henry Ruggs incident, and then your cornerback that you drafted right after Henry Ruggs, there was the video that leaked from Instagram or whatever of him threatening to do some stuff, and then there was another cornerback that you drafted that had the DUI that you had to cut because of all the controversy you had. John Gruden, just so much controversy that went on with this team all season long. And you worked through that. You made it to the playoffs. You barely made it to the playoffs. If you lost this game, you were out. You're only in the playoffs because the Colts lost and the Chargers decided, oh, we want to tie, and we're not just going to go for the win. So you're barely in the playoffs. Running back Josh Jacobs, he's on and off. He's either absolutely insane like this game against the Chargers, or he's just mediocre solid. Your defense, linebackers, you have KJ Wright. You're okay there. You have Max Crosby, absolutely insane defensive end. He's been playing amazing for you guys, and he's a great defensive end, and he really carries that defense. Your cornerbacks have been okay. Your safeties have been okay. Your team's just all around okay. There's no one on your team that's like, oh my god, he's absolutely insane. It's just a bunch of really solid players that they just brought you to the playoffs. So I think that you probably get knocked out in the first round. Same with Steelers, they get knocked out in the first round. But you made it to the playoffs. Good job. Hopefully you can build something on this. But I think this was more of the peak of this era or like time that you're in with the Raiders. It's a weird place that the Raiders are in right now with Derek Carr being, is he the real answer or is he not the real answer? But yeah, so Raiders at 13. Next up, we have the Eagles. So with the Eagles, you need to run for a lot of yards to even be having any chance of beating any teams in the playoffs right now. Jalen Hurts, not the greatest. Gardner Minshew, not the greatest. Jalen Hurts he can run around, he can make some plays that way. Miles Sanders, really good running back. Your offensive line, it's okay. Wide receivers, okay. You have Devontae Smith. Your wide receivers actually kind of suck. You only have Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. Other than that, you have nobody else. Your cornerbacks, your defense, pretty good. You have Darius Slay. You have decent-ish safeties. Your CB2 needs help there. Your defensive line, pretty good. Your linebackers, mediocre. Your special teams, solid. You have Jake Elliott. So, kicker. So, your team probably getting bounced in the first round. Definition of the final seed in the playoffs. You're not an amazing team. You're not a bad team in any sense of the way, in any sense of the word. But you're just not the greatest team, and you're probably not making it too far, unless Jalen Hurts goes down, and you get Gardner Minshew in there, because backups in Philly, they go far in the playoffs. So yeah, Eagles have them at 12. I don't know why it took me a second to think that, but Eagles at 12. And next up, we have the Patriots. So with the Patriots, you aren't amazing at quarterback. You have Mac Jones. He's a rookie. No rookie quarterback's ever won a Super Bowl. You're probably not winning a Super Bowl this year. The rest of your squad isn't even in the contention with, say, the Titans, the Chiefs, the Buccaneers, the Packers. With that, you are probably looking at one and then done in the playoffs, or get one win and then lose in the divisional. Your offensive line, always great. Your running backs, really good running backs. You have Rondé Stevenson, rookie. He's been amazing all year long. You have Damian Harris. He's also been amazing all year long. Your wide receivers could need a little help. You could need a true number one this offseason. But your wide receivers are okay. Nothing amazing. Your defense, cornerbacks, really solid. Safeties, really solid. Linebackers, really solid. Defensive line, really solid. Your defense needs to carry. As long as you don't get Mac Jones above 15, having to pass more than 15 times, you should win. But if you're forced to have Mac Jones pass more than 20 times, you're probably losing, and you're forced into the throw ball situation in the third quarter, and you lost the game. So, have the Patriots up to 11. So, next up, we have the 49ers. It's not that the 49ers are a bad team, but okay, let's start over. Your offensive line is pretty good. Your running backs, really good. A little unhealthy at times, and Deebo Samuel has to fill in and be reverse CMC. Your wide receivers, really good. You have Ayuk, you have Deebo. Your tight end, you have George Kittle, absolute beast. Jimmy Garoppolo, he limits your potential. You're not going far in the playoffs with Jimmy G with a roster that's not as stacked as it was when you won the Super Bowl. You are very hot, you're playing really good, but you're not as good as the rest of the teams. I think against all the rest of the teams in the playoff, you would probably lose. Defense, your cornerbacks, absolute garbage. Your safeties are okay. Your linebackers, absolutely amazing. Your defensive line, Nick Bosa, Teron Armstead. At your other defensive end, you have Javon Kinlaw. Defensive line is really good. Defense is really good. Just the offense with Jimmy Garoppolo at this moment. In the future with Trey Lance, it's going to be amazing. But at the moment with Jimmy G, you're not going far in the playoffs, and you're probably going to get bounced in the divisional if you don't make it past. Next up, we got the Cardinals. This is where I get controversial, and people will be upset. Here's my thought process on it. When the Seahawks were going into the playoffs last year, our quarterback, Russell Wilson, was not playing good. He was playing below league average, slightly better than Mitch Trubisky level. It was bad to watch. Your offensive line was playing solid-ish all year long, and then Wilson L+ ratio fell off a cliff. It was bad. Kyler Murray, without DeAndre Hopkins, has not looked great. He hasn't looked at the level that Russell Wilson looked last year, but it is still very bad looking. Without Hopkins, Kyler Murray just gets flustered because Christian Kirk, you have the deep guy. You have AJ Green who can move around, do things like that, and get open every once in a while, and he can give you some yards. You have Rondell Moore, who's your gadget guy that just does fly sweeps or bubble screens and stuff like that, and he gets you 5-6 yards. He's that gadget player. With DeAndre Hopkins in that offense as well, it makes it so, oh, if no one's open, just chuck it up to D-Hop and something's going to happen, or they have to focus more on D-Hop and you can toss it to someone else. Without D-Hop, you're forcing AJ Green to become more of a deep guy every once in a while. You're forcing Rondell Moore to become a deep guy every once in a while. You're forcing Rondell Moore to be more of a slot wide receiver. You're forcing Christian Kirk to be more of a slot wide receiver, but also stay in those roles that they were playing. They're not as good with DeAndre Hopkins. Without Hopkins, they aren't that good. Kyler isn't. Kyler isn't that good without Hopkins at the moment. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. Defensive line, you get J.J. Watt back. Chris Jones, linebacker. Rushed linebacker like T.J. Watt, obviously. Absolute beast. Defense with Budda Baker. And you don't have Pat Pete. I forgot who you have at cornerbacks here. A little light at CB1 and 2, in my opinion. Defense, absolutely amazing. Plus Isaiah Simmons, Budda, Chris Jones, J.J. Watt, amazing. But it's the offense that scares me. Sorry about that. I don't know if you can keep up with the Cowboys, the Buccaneers, the Packers, or any other teams in the playoffs ahead of that I haven't ranked yet. So it is controversial, but just watch games or film of how they've been playing lately, and you'll see what I'm talking about and why I think that the Cardinals are where they're at. And another massive surprise, I have the Bengals here. So with the Bengals, Joe Burrow has been playing out of his mind past 2 games. And at the beginning of the season, Joe Burrow has been playing amazing. Offensive line needs help, but Burrow been playing great. Jamar Chase been playing absolutely insane. T. Higgins been playing like a wide receiver 1, but he's their wide receiver 2. Tyler Boyd, he's arguably wide receiver 2, but playing as their wide receiver 3. You have Joe Mixon playing absolutely amazing. You have your defensive line been playing pretty good. Linebackers okay, safeties okay, cornerbacks okay. You have a league average defense, and your offense is top tier, and they're young. So in the future, absolutely insane. Right now, absolutely insane. Your offense can carry you into the divisional round. I think you might win your first week, but you probably lose in the divisional. I don't think you make it past there. But to make it to where you're at and being able to pass up the Patriots and the Cardinals in power rankings, I understand I'm a small YouTuber and stuff, but it's impressive what they've done, and I'm rooting for the Bengals. I like the Bengals, so I have them here, and I'm happy with it. The Rams. This one hits tough with some people, but I think the Rams aren't as good as people think. I would love to see a Titans-Rams Super Bowl. That would be entertaining. I would want a rematch of that 1999 Super Bowl. That would be fun. But the Rams, your defense, Von Miller, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. Defense is insane. You have Eric Weddle back. You have Tyler Rapp, who's in concussion protocol right now. But your defense is absolutely insane. Offensive line, really good. Wide receivers, really good. Running back, you have Cam Akers back. It's Achilles injury in 6 months. He's not going to be great. He's more of a backup level running back right now. Darrell Henderson, playing okay. Sony Michel, playing great right now. Where it's scary is Matthew Stafford. So Stafford has been absolutely insane all year long. Fought through some injury. He's okay right now. But the interceptions, he's had, I think, 6-7 interceptions in the past 2-3 weeks. That's bad. Beginning of the season, that's bad. Going into the playoffs, that is horrifyingly scary. If Matthew Stafford wasn't here and the Rams team is playing up to their potential, you are probably number 3 to 1 interchangeable in that area. But you're not, and you're not playing good right now. So that's why I have the Rams below the Cowboys, below the Bills. If you're playing just a little better and you weren't throwing so many interceptions and you weren't able to be because in the playoffs you can't be bailed out by your defense so much, unless you're talking about the Seahawks and the Super Bowl. In that case, your defense can win you a Super Bowl. and same with the Broncos. But those are historic defenses. This is not an historic defense. This is a top level of the year defense, top level for a couple years defense, not a all-time great. So Matthew Stafford, if you don't get it together, you're getting bounced soon, and that's why you're here, because Matthew Stafford ain't playing great right now. Next up, I have the Bills. Buffalo all the way this time. I'm all about it. I'd love to see it happen. Josh Allen not playing insane, but if he keeps running with his feet and keeps scoring, and as long as he doesn't throw the interceptions that he was throwing, they should be good. You don't have Tre'Davious White because he's out for the season in like week 9, 10. Defensive line, solid pressure. Linebackers, really solid. Safeties, really good. Cornerbacks, okay. Offensive line, you just have a bunch of good guys there. You don't have any stars on the offensive line. You have Stephon Diggs. You have Cole Beasley. You have, I can't think of his name. I think it's Gabriel Davis. You can fact check me on that. He's number 13. He's the Bills' number 3 wide receiver. He's been playing really solid. Devin Singletary, if you can capture that 100-yard game against the Falcons, you're sitting pretty. But what scares me is Josh Allen and him not playing like he was last year, and the Stephon Diggs connection also not being as good as it was last year, even though it's still really good. I think that they can, and they have the potential and the ability to definitely go all the way and win it. Do I think they can and they will? No, I don't. And that's why I have the Bills where they're at, and let's move on to the next one. It's the Cowboys. I don't know how they did it. They were horrifying last year. Well, they didn't have Dak. Defense with Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs and the rest of that team in the rest of that defense, absolutely amazing. Your offensive line playing solid. Your wide receivers, who has to talk about their wide receivers? Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup out for the season with the torn ACL like 2 weeks ago, but their new wide receiver playing solid. He had a touchdown. I think it was like a 30-yard, 40-yard touchdown, maybe even more, in week 17 or 18. Your running backs, Zeke, not as good as he used to be. Tony Pollard, after next season, arguably better than Ezekiel Elliott, which is sad. But Zeke, good for 5 yards. Pollard, good for 20-yard gains, 30-yard gains, 40-yard gains. He's the big play guy. Zeke's the short get like 3 yards chunk plays. Short chunk plays. Short plays. Chunk plays are like 30-yard gains and massive chunks of the field. That's what's a chunk play. But Cowboys, Dak Prescott playing amazing. Wide receivers playing amazing. Defense playing amazing. Everything's playing amazing. They're hitting on all gears right now. Had that massive win against the football team. I think they're going to be the Red Hogs when their name gets revealed. But you're sitting pretty, and I think you have a chance at the Super Bowl. I don't think you have the best chance, but you have a solid chance. Next up, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks, AB, Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette will be back this week, but still hurts. You're looking in your cornerback room looking thin. Your defense not looking as good as it was last year. It's kind of scary. Yes, you still have Mike Evans. You still have Gronk. You get Leonard Fournette back this week. Your offensive line is still really good. Tom Brady, still the GOAT. But Tom Brady's the only reason I'm putting this aside. If it wasn't for Tom Brady and you had like Dak Prescott, you would probably be 2 spots lower. Defensive line, really good. You also get Shaq Barrett back. That's a massive addition. That is insanely crucial for this run that you might go on and that you hopefully go on. For Buck's sake, I don't want Brady winning another Super Bowl. Oh God. But your team's just not as good as it was last year going into the postseason. AB's antics going into the postseason and Chris Godwin tearing the ACL. It's just bad news bears. There's no other way to put it. It's bad news bears. So Buccaneers, you're not sitting pretty, but you're definitely still a really good team, and I think playoff Lenny could bring you up there. And it would be hilarious to see Packers lose to 3 interceptions, Tom Brady, and 3 touchdowns and go to the Super Bowl. That would be hilarious. I want to see Buccaneers lose in the Super Bowl. I don't know why I was getting ready to stand up. I don't usually do that until I'm about to cut. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna cut. This team and the next team are pretty much interchangeable for me. It was really hard deciding on who I wanted to put at this spot. But I'm back from my cut now, and I'm going with the Chiefs. So, Chiefs, very hot. Patrick Mahomes playing very good. Tyreek Hill playing very good. Travis Kelce playing very good. Clyde Edwards-Helaire sucks. Rest of your running backs, mediocre. Your offensive line, really good. Your defense, playing absolutely insane right now. What's his name? Melvin Ingram, playing amazing. He had that strip sack for the touchdown, which was awesome. I think he strip sacked, and then another player picked it up and ran it in for the touchdown, or he did. I don't remember exactly, but his addition has been massive for this defense, and you're getting hot at the right time, and you might go to the Super Bowl. You love to see it for Chiefs fans. You hate to see it for the world's sake because of not Patrick Mahomes. What's his name? Jackson Mahomes. Hopefully, there's no TikToks of him dancing on a legendary player's grave, memorial site at a stadium. That was just horrifying to see last month. But hopefully Jackson Mahomes stays quiet. I really hope he does, because he's just feeding off Patrick's money and fame, which is sad to see. But it's happening. But Chiefs, they're looking pretty, and I think you got a solid chance of the Super Bowl. You probably already know who it is. I got the Titans here. Derrick Henry has another week of rest on top of they got the bye week. He wasn't able to make it back in week 18, but he gets another week of rest. He's gonna be back to absolutely murder in the playoffs, because that's just what Henry does. He just runs for 50 yards on the Ravens when they have their best season that they've ever had, and that they've had in a long, long time. Henry, absolute monster. Tannehill playing solid without Henry. AJ Brown came back, missed some of the part of the season, came back, absolute monster game. Been playing amazing since then. Your offensive line playing good. Your backup, your current starting running back, but when Henry's back, your backup running back, he's been playing amazing. He's been playing like most NFL teams' running back ones. He's been getting 100-yard rushing games, 80-yard rushing games, and he was signed off the street. Man, is playing great. You love to see it. Your defense playing really good right now. Your cornerbacks, solid. Safety's good. You have Kevin Byard. It's hard to say his last name. Your linebackers, okay. Defensive line, what a way to rebuild that defensive line. Your defensive line right now is absolutely amazing, really underrated. One of the best defensive lines in the league right now, really hot. Number 98, I think he was a Pro Bowl snub. I don't think he made it, but he's been playing absolutely amazing right now, and you love to see it. I think the Titans go to the Super Bowl, and I'd love to see it. I'd love to see like a Packers Titans Super Bowl, Rams Titans Super Bowl, with Rams losing because I don't like the Rams. But yeah, you did an amazing job. Mike Vrabel, I think he gets Coach of the Year, because playing through with all those injuries was absolutely insane that they did that, and you can't help but give him props. You can't say anything else other than it was absolutely amazing to watch that, and truly one of the greatest seasons of football I've ever seen as a fan. And I'm a Seahawks fan. We didn't make the playoffs. I watched Russell Wilson on IR for like 4 weeks, and then him act about how tough he is and get on the field, even though Geno Smith should have been on the field and won us a couple games, and we could have made the playoffs because we played great, amazing past like 2 games. But we don't talk about it. Next up, you know who it is. It's the Green Bay Packers. What else can you say? Aaron Rodgers, he's an amazing player. Been playing amazing all last year, all this year. Aaron Jones playing great. He's healthy. their backup running back, I forgot his name. I have him on my fantasy team. Has massive quads, good for 3 yards if you need a first down. Your Devontae Adams, absolutely insane. David Bakhtiari came back, had a solid game. Only played for a little bit because a little tired. He haven't played all season. So good to see that. Then Jair Alexander, he's back and practicing. If you can get to the Super Bowl, then he's 100% there for the Super Bowl. And I think he could likely be back for the NFC Championship if you make it there and lose probably. But we don't talk about it because I'm liking the Packers right now. I don't know why. I hate the Packers, but I like watching them right now. It's fun. Your defensive line, Kenny Clark, great. Your defense, the rest, Zadarius Smith, he's also coming back. That is massive. You have the Smith brothers there. Then there was another linebacker that had another really good season. Your safeties are playing solid. You have Darnell Savage and one other safety that's really good. You just have a really good team. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is just playing absolutely out of his mind. It seems like he's playing perfectly at every single turn. The picture that I think of is the picture where a Packers fan is holding a sign and it has a foot and then the pinky toe is red and it says totally MVP. It summed it up perfectly. Rodgers is also he's a fine wine. He gets better with age. I don't know why I like the Packers right now. I don't know. I'm not a Packers fan, as you can see. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to see the Packers win the Super Bowl. It's sad to see a team lose like 3 years in a row in the NFC Championship. It doesn't matter who you're a fan of. You hate to see someone multiple people lose 3 years in a row to teams they probably should have beaten. I think it's 2 years in a row now, but still sad to see. But yeah, that wraps up the video. If you did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing. It's always appreciated. Why not? It's free to do. And I'm almost at 100 subs. I'm trying to get there. I got a busy schedule coming up, but an unbusying schedule, then a schedule that's extremely busy again, but no school in the summer, so that's gonna be cool. But yeah, I'm gonna try and get my things up soon. It'll probably be in a couple weeks. We just haven't had time to get them up. And yeah, I'm enjoying recording videos and I love doing it. I flipped my phone to where the camera is facing me and I don't have it to where I press the button and I have the selfie cam facing me. Tell me what you think of the camera quality. It's obviously better since it's the actual camera capturing my face rather than a little tiny selfie cam that's like that tiny, and now it's a big camera that big on a phone. So yeah, if you did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing. It always helps. And other than that, have a good rest of your day.